Hi, folks. This is Rob Hunt. I've got some folks on here. We're from the EvolvaiR team and company, and we've got some wonderful products. But one of the things that we're deciding to offer that no other companies really are offering, and that is personal coaching for folks that come on board with us. And with that said, I've sought out some of the best people to be part of this company. You know, one of them is Big Frank, of course, that is part owner of the company. And then we've got Brent Undjham on here with us. Brent is a personal mentor of mine. We have been friends, and he's been my coach, not just for body transformation and health. He's helped me out through some major injuries and on the road to recovery several times. But he's been my coach and mentor since 2000. So it's been 17 years now. 18 years now. Whew, I can count. Now I do have, now the other thing is he helps out with mind and body, which is really cool. Really good mentor of mine. And he knows, and other people know, if you're close to me, you know, I need more than one person helping me with my mind because it's kind of crazy. But Brent's my go-to guy. Brent is part of who I am. He's just older than dirt, so I'm going to say he's like a dad to me. But I brought Brent out of retirement, and it took, when he knew what I was doing, it took any time. He said, okay. And to have somebody of Brent's caliber to be on board and have him with us, guys, is absolutely amazing. And when we talk about him training people and training, understand that he's been at the top of the game and has been the sought-after guy. He was one of the top trainers, literally top. And when I say top, I don't mean the top 100 or the top 10, you know, with EAS, with Body for Life, with what's his name, Rambo, Sylvester Stallone's deal, and a couple other deals. He's also trained several thousand people in body transformation challenges, and several champions as well. And you know, he's trained over 6 world champion fighters, one of which I actually fought, and it was point sparring, so he won by a point. And just because it was Brent's son, I took it easy on him. Now, if it would have been full contact, I'd have chewed that little turd up alive. But Brent has really, he's been out there amongst some of the best people in the world. And so we have a world-class person here. So when he talks, you guys really need to listen to him. And when you have his time, the only thing I ask is, let's not waste his time. Let's utilize him. And you're going to see some programs on here for diet, for exercise, all of those things. Those come from Brent. So I'm going to be quiet now and go, here's Brent. Hey, Brent, it's all yours.
Well, thanks, Rob. I know everybody's busy, so I'm going to be real fast with everything. I'll talk quick, so you'll have to listen fast. And I'm going to just give you the meat. I don't give you the fluff. And so these calls will be like 15, 20 minutes, and then question and answer. And after a month or two, we'll have gone through, and I'll do the same thing twice a week so that you can get everybody you know to the next call and hear, so they can hear what you just heard. And over a 2-month period, you're going to hear most of the principles in the system. And all of the information will be on the website so that you can look at it, take your choice in nutrition, workouts, everything, and you'll be able to taught how to do it all. But you also have to be accountable. So we'll cover all of this. Okay, first thing, most important, if you want to change your world, you got to just change the way you think. That's as simple as it is. So that's what today and these calls are going to be about, is helping you change the way you think. It doesn't matter what you have been. It doesn't matter what you are now. It's what you become that matters in all things. I'll answer all questions at the end, so write them down and save them. You'll probably want to take notes. My bio will be on the website so that you can look at that. It's not enough to know how to do something. You got to know why. Everything in the world that you want has a price to it. All you got to do is find out the price and then just pay it. If you walked up to the airline ticket at the airport and asked them to give you a ticket, and they ask you, well, where do you want to go? And you say, I don't care, give me a ticket. Are they going to give you a ticket? No, because you don't know where you want to go. Well, we're going to help you get a crystal clear vision of where you want to go, and not just how to get there, but why. If you don't know why or where, the how don't matter. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's what will happen. As we go along, all of the students that are ready right now will come. Your success is only determined by one thing in life, the size of your thinking. Whether it's this big or it's this big. That's the only thing that it determines that. There's no such thing as stupid questions to stupid answers. So you can ask me anything, anytime. One of the things you want to do first is you'll want to write a letter of how you feel right now. You're detailed of your aches and pains and outlook on life, your energy, your sleep, all kinds of every kind of detail, your health challenges, and write that down and put it away. Nobody ever gets to see this but you, because in 12 to 16 weeks, you'll write another letter like that, and then you'll pull them out and compare it, and the whole world will have changed. Okay, everybody has things in life they want to accomplish. Mental, physical, spiritual, family, financial. These are priorities and your goals. One of the things you'll want to do is you'll take a piece of paper and write down mental, physical, spiritual, family, financial. Then write your number one goal next to each one of those areas. Then ask yourself, how effective can I be at any one of those things with half my strength, energy, and vitality? Because that's what most people are operating off of right now. Then ask yourself, how effective can I be with none of my health, strength, energy, or vitality? That puts in perspective how important what we're going to do for the next 12 to 16 weeks is in relation to everything else you want to accomplish in life. It keeps it in perspective so that you can focus and do this. We're not talking about lots of time. We're talking about quality and scheduling. Your most important thing is to transform your health and your energy and vitality so you can accomplish more with those other areas. On the website, there'll be some before and after pictures, and most importantly, their letters of recommend, which are more spectacular. There'll be a few on there out of the hundreds that I have, but they're pretty amazing, and that the letters are even more spectacular than the pictures. Even though, from my experience with my clients, typical results were from 40 to 60 pounds with no lean body mass in 12 weeks. And other ones that had to gain mass, there were only on a few of those. We helped them put on a lot of muscle and strength. Most women will double or triple their strength, and guys will double theirs. But that was my results from when I was hands-on training. Okay, here's how we make this work. This is the principle. And it doesn't matter whether you're religious or not. These principles work for everybody. This is just how things are in the world. Can everybody see this board? Let's see if I can see my picture up there. Okay, there we go.
You slide it clear over. You need to slide over a little bit more, buddy. There you go. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Hey, that's one of the markers from my office.
That's the one I got from you today. Okay, see this long, dark tunnel? This life is like everybody is in this long, dark tunnel, and they're walking through this thing, and it's pitch black. You can't see anything. It smells bad, and you walk through muck and mire. And then somebody out here lights a light at the end of this tunnel. What that does, you can see that at the end of the tunnel, so it gives you hope. Ooh, I hope I can get out of this stinking mess. So you start walking towards the light, and you get about halfway through, and now you believe. I believe I can get out of here. And then you keep walking towards it, and you're almost the end. You can see the landscape out the end of this tunnel. and you know you're going to be able to walk out of that tunnel and into that landscape and be free. Now you have faith. But there's always a trial right at the end of the faith. And that's when you walk out and you're free. That deal's done. That's the principle of what we do. So when you first heard about this, you had a little hope. Ooh, maybe this will work for me, or you saw the pictures or the testimonials. But then after we get through this training and stuff, you're going to believe. But then we'll go to apply the principles and you'll start seeing the progress. The biggest thing I did with clients when I was with them twice a week was breathe the belief into them. And that's the major deal. Not just handing them the weights or anything, but just breathing the belief into them. And then they tell me about their challenges, and that's the other thing. If you got challenges and obstacles, let me know on the question and answer, because somebody else will have the same kind of question and answers. And we can maybe help them that are kind of scared to ask it. And so I'll answer it, and without making anybody feel bad, I can help you with any of the obstacles that you're going to encounter. Okay, and here's the other principle now is the most important thing you can learn in life is this next principle. And here we go. This is a big deal. Okay, again. Oh, let's see. There I am again. Let's see this picture here. Okay, here we are. This is you and I and everybody in the world. Good looking, aren't we? And over here, we have our dreams, our goals, our rewards. You can see those things, so you're going to go get them. But always in life, there's going to be obstacles that come up to get in your way to stop you. And herein lies the problem. You got your dream and your rewards up here, and you're looking at them. And then up here, and then an obstacle comes up and gets you in your face. And if this thing gets too big, or you focus on this and make it so big you can't see this, you're done. This is not worth it anymore. But if you can see this over the top of it, you're going to get around it, through it, or whatever you do to get there, because then it's still worth it. So what we're going to do is help you build these dream or rewards bigger than the obstacles can ever be, so that no matter how big the obstacles get, you can always see it over the top of it, so you can get it done. So the first thing we're going to have here is you're going to have a picture. A picture of your reward, your dream, your goal. And then make 4 color copies of this. Pick out a picture of the physique you would like to have if you could have anyone you wanted. Not what you think you can get, and not age dependent, because it'll be amazing what you can do. I've had people, in their 60s and 70s look like they are in their 30s. So and best in the swimming suit so you can see the body parts. Make 4 color copies of that picture. Put that one picture in your bedroom on the wall, one on your kitchen fridge, one on the bathroom mirror, and one on the cover of your training manual, or somewhere else you see it all the time. Because in life, we learn 80% by sight in life, 8% by hearing, 12% with the other senses. So this is, every time you see that picture, and those are places you walk past all day long every day, you see your head on that body. Never doubt that you're going to get there, and you're going to get there. But something even more powerful happens. These are places you walk past all day long, and even if you're not consciously seeing it, your subconscious is seeing it. And it's vastly more powerful than your conscious mind. The second thing we're going to have to help you pre-program everything the way you think is a 3x5 card. And on that 3x5 card, you're going to put your affirmations in the present tense as if they exist right now. On the website, there'll be a list of examples of affirmations that you can put on that card. And because your subconscious does not know the difference between a real vividly imagined occurrence and an actual happening. So that's why you put it in the present tense. That card you put by your bedside. You read it first thing every morning, last thing you go to bed at night. Now, if you have a goal or dream and you just think about it, you got 10% chance of having that reality. But if you write it down and read it, 55%. But if you write it down and read it and mix it with emotion and get as many of your 5 senses involved in it, 100% chance of becoming a reality. Okay? Read it first thing every morning, last thing go to bed at night. Mix it with emotion. Next thing you want to have, and pictures of it, is a picture of the contest, the cruise. That's what me and my wife did when we did the Body for Life contest in 1998, 99. Had a picture of the cruise that we were going to go on. And we wanted to give each other presents for the cruise, hard bodies. And we did. We looked better than anybody on the ship. Now, most of the people were over 65, but we still look pretty good. So this contest. So stick a picture up on your fridge of a cruise ship. Pictures of you and your, whoever's going to go with you on that cruise. Okay, next. Oh, here's the big one. How many would like to know what the secret of the universe is? Most people would like to know what that is. Oh, I got to bring me another board next time. I learned something new. This, so I don't have to erase this one. Maybe I can put it up here in the corner. Okay. How'd you like to know what the secret of the universe is? Okay, right here, what you got is you got your body here. And this body has appetites, emotions, and passions. And there's 2 boxes down here with words written in them. What is everybody in this world searching for? What does everybody want? And I hear all kinds of answers, but I'm looking for happiness. Isn't that what everybody's looking for? And they'll tell me gold or money or whatever, but all of that is trying to get them happiness. Well, most everybody looking for happiness is going out trying to satisfy their appetites, emotions, and passions in the form of fame, fortune, money, gold, silver, alcohol, sex, drugs. And when you do that, you get fun and excitement. But fun and excitement are different than joy and happiness. Joy and happiness come some other way. And the ones that have looked into this box and sees what's written in there, they say, that's impossible. How can happiness come from that? Well, that's exactly where it comes from. Sacrifice. Because when you sacrifice your appetites, emotions, and passions on behalf of yourself, and more especially on behalf of others, you get joy and happiness. Every parent has learned that. Look through all of history and all the stories that you've seen of all the famous people and great people. And you'll notice the ones that make the biggest sacrifices got the most out of life. The one who sacrificed the most is going to get the most out of this life, happiness and joy. And so that's the principles we're going to apply to make this happen in your own life. Okay, next up here, there might be some negative thing that motivates you. Somebody said something ignorant about you, how fat and ugly you were, whatever. And, most things should be a positive that you're thinking about, and motivating you to overcome the obstacles. But, I've helped a bunch of people, turn their whole life. And boy, there was a lot, men and women, but mostly women. There was a whole bunch of women I trained that, their husbands had divorced them and they're all kinds of stories. Well, I told him, I says, when we get done with this, your husband's going to sleep like a baby. He's going to wake up every few hours and cry. And they all thought I was just kidding. And I was, yeah, it's a true story. But you get to that point and you've overcome all of this stuff and you become so powerful that that's not a big motivating thing anymore, but it's still kind of fun. And then any other thing that builds this vision and dream bigger than anything, you know, the cruise, you know, whatever in your life, you add it up here. Take pictures, put them on your fridge, visualize all of those things, but especially you. Okay, these are the principles so that you can overcome that. Now, these things just make you stronger because strength only comes through adversity. If you lay in bed all day long and don't move a muscle, pretty soon you can't move a muscle. So adversity is your friend as long as you can overcome it. And the only way you do it is by keeping your eyes above the obstacles, above the adversity. These pictures, make sure you stick them up. And, you know, the negative self-talk will say, oh, don't worry about those 3x5 card pictures. No, those are two of the most important things I've teach you. And those things do not bypass those. There'll be examples on the website of what to write on there. One of the main ones you want to write on for sure is nothing goes in my mouth but what is on my nutritional schedule. You're going to get a free meal a week, not a free day. And during that free meal, you can eat anything you want, as much as you want, but just that one meal. But you get to choose when that is. And goals, you put a time limit on them. I am 10% body fat.
Hey, wait a minute. About that free meal, I got to tell you guys, Brent is tricking you. You'll eat whatever you want, and it'll make you sick. You won't like it. My wife and I did that. I called him up and chewed him out because I'm like, we can't eat donuts anymore. You suck.
Yeah, we'll fix you.
All right, I'm going to be quiet.
Your goals, put a time limit on them. I am 10% body fat by this date. Now, ideal for a woman, a female athlete is 12 to 15%. Guys, 7 to 10%. And I have taken women, even in their 70s, down to 7%, so all the fat's gone everywhere. But then I want them to go back up and stay above 10% because you're healthier, because your hormones are stored in your fat cells. So anyway, and this gal, she's about 13 for 15% right here. You know, he's about 12%. I have all of their stats, everything before, and know exactly where everything was. I've done thousands of body fats. You will transform if you follow these success principles. That is just a given. It works for everybody, nobody excluded. Okay, that's the end of today's seminar. Any question and answers on anything?
I got a question.
Sure.
You said nothing goes in my mouth except what is on my nutritional
schedule.
Right. And then I got another one. Hold on. You also said your average weight loss was 40 to 60 pounds in how many weeks?
12. And that was fat loss, not weight loss.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That is...
but in how many weeks did you say?
12 weeks, 3 months.
Okay.
And most cells in your body regenerate themselves within 12 weeks. That's why the spectacular health healings and changes have happened, because if you do everything right, then your body does its job and heals the cells brand new.
Right. And then on your nutritional guide, I took a look at this the other day. I haven't looked at it since much. What do you recommend? Do you recommend eating, 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day?
Hey, matey.
Yeah.
I have the nutritional guide, one of the nutritions, for the weight loss. I have it up on the screen right now.
Right.
we'll be providing those, and it'll show you those. I'll let Brent, go ahead and answer that question, but I just want you to know that I've got it up on the screen. We do have that stuff available.
Yeah, and I saw it, but I didn't see where it, and maybe I just missed it. But does it say on here, 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day? 5 meals a day? What do you recommend there?
The other pages do, and they will be up there, but I'll explain that to you right now. Yes, anybody that has stored fat, energy, they will be eaten every 3 hours. Don't miss. Okay, if you fast, you get on, it'll be much tougher. And there is some interval fasting. Somebody can try that if they want to, because that's the latest craze. And we'll have them. I want to know how that works for them, and if they lose lean body mass or not. But for all my clients, they all ate every 3 hours. You set your schedule according to what your lifestyle is. My schedule was I ate at 7, 10, 1, 4, and 7. And you eat, the gals in phase 1, well, if you chose to go with the VOS schedule instead of, one of these other diet plans, you'll eat 10 grams of carbs each meal, 50 grams total for the day. And most women, based on your lean body mass, you got to have 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass.
How do you figure that out?
I'll tell you. We're not going to. And
hey, Brent, we actually have all that on the paperwork on the website.
Great. When you got your caliper, it'll tell you what your lean body mass is. And so most women, though, it's going to be about 25 grams of protein each meal, which is about 4 ounces of any meat, fowl, fish, or a scoop of most protein powders, about a little more than half of an empty can of tuna fish. So if you go out to eat, if it'll fit in a little more than a half a can of tuna fish, that's your portion size.
Okay.
Okay, Brent.
And then unlimited vegetables, and then what about fruit?
No, everything has an amount of carbs to it. And so on the charts, you mix and match, and typically a cup of broccoli is 5 grams of carbs, a cup of cauliflower, 5 grams of carbs. So you can have a whole cup of broccoli and a whole cup of cauliflower with your 4 ounces of chicken breast. That's your meal.
Okay.
So you mix and match all your carbs. An apple, half an apple's 10 grams of carbs. So you can have a half an apple and a half can of tuna fish. That's a meal.
Okay, let me get some of these other questions we have. Matey, we do have all that.
Okay, thank you.
One other question that's going to come up is if you're not hungry and it's time to eat, you still eat. You don't have to eat it all, but you got to eat. Okay?
Okay, we have one person that says, my husband just had a fusion of his L2S1. He will need this to help get back. Okay, so it's not a question, but they're liking it. Let's see, we've got...
You'll need some, to make sure you got the right supplements, so that his bones can regrow and heal.
Right. Person wants to be a 61-year-old student.
We like students.
Okay, a recap on the 2 letters. It was too fast. What he means by there, Richard, I'm going to go ahead and answer this one for him if you don't mind, Brent.
Good, that's fine.
Richard, well, actually, Brent, go ahead and go through the 2 letters. Do those real quick. We've got time. Go ahead and answer those, and then we'll get on. I'm going to field some of these other questions.
2 letters. What do you mean 2 letters?
He talks about the 2 letters that you write.
Oh, yeah. The 1 letter you're going to write to yourself of how you feel right now, your outlook on life, your energy, everything in your whole life, aches and pains, everything. Best if you think about what it was before yesterday, because once you heard this, it kind of puts a light on you, so you start to feel better. Oh, I got a light at the end of the tunnel. But how you felt yesterday, and then put it away. Don't forget where it is, because when you get done in 12, 16 weeks, you want to write another one, and it is spectacular, the change.
The reason Brent wants you to put that away, guys, is because he doesn't want you to focus on how you're feeling now. He wants you to focus on how you're going to feel. Okay, the next question. How do you help a 138-pound skinny 61-year-old build body transformation and mass?
Okay.
That's one of the best questions.
Yeah. Now you're a different animal. You got a high metabolism. So the hard part for you is, and everybody else, thinks, oh, he's lucky, but this is a hard part for you. You got to eat every 2 hours, and you'll eat, how much do you weigh? 100, what'd you say?
138.
138. Okay. We got to divide that by 8. 8 into that is about, I'll say, so we got about almost 18 to 20 grams of protein per meal. So that's about 3 ounces of any meat, fowl, or fish per every meal. And you got to have equal protein and equal carbs. So you got to have that many grams of carbs. And I don't care about how much fat. Everybody should have at least a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil a day, extra virgin coconut oil or avocado oil. And eggs are wonderful, those kind of fats, even butter, organic butter. But if you want extra energy, after you got equal protein, equal carbs, you can have some nuts or another tablespoon of some kind of fat that you like. But that's the deal. Now, as far as your cardio, we can't have you burning up all your calories and protein, for your energy. So you got to do 3 cardios a week, maybe 20 minutes, 3 times a week. All right, whatever cardio you want to choose. Not every day. And with the weights, you get to do 3 to 4 sets per body part once a week. In the first month, you'll take it to a 7 to 8 effort. That's when you're like doing a curl and it starts to burn. That's a 7. And at 8, it's really burning. At 9, it's on fire and it's screaming. At 10, it won't go up. It stops. After a month, you can take it to the 10 effort on every set. And you'll do 6 to 8. Well, I'm going to have you keep it safe. 8 to 10 reps per body part, 3 to 4 sets of each muscle group. All the muscle groups. And so like on Monday, you'll do chest and triceps. Tuesday, back and biceps. Wednesday, legs. Thursday, calves and abs and neck. Friday, we've
got those on that.
All right, so we want to get every
we've got those ready to go.
Body demanding attention from your body's recuperative powers. So we're going to exercise everything, not just the major muscles. But if you'll do that, you'll start putting on muscle. But yeah, and with this supplement that we have, holy mackerel, that's a miracle. You should really have to look to get supplements that would help you, but you've got to the right place for that if you want to put on lean body mass. And if you do it right, you could put on, I've had people like you that have put on 20 to 30 pounds, 20 pounds in about 12, 16 weeks, and 30 pounds in a year. Muscle. And their body fat stayed the same.
Okay, we got a person that asked, basically they got a busy lifestyle at work. They're a server at a restaurant working 12-hour days. They don't get any breaks, which is against the law. That's a federal law, labor law. When is he going to have time to be able to eat? Kathy kind of answered it for him. Go to the bathroom, put your food in your pocket.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
How long does it take to eat a protein bar? How long does it take to eat 3 ounces, a couple of bites of chicken, and a half an apple? That's an example. It takes a couple of minutes is all to eat that in between. You just set your phone to go off an alarm every 3 hours, or you get a watch that has an alarm on it every 3 hours. And when it's that time, You just pop a few things into your mouth, you're done. As far as your weights go, what I just told the guy that's going to put on lean body mass, that takes about 15 minutes to do 3 or 4 sets per body part once a week. 15 minutes a day. Anybody can do that. Cardio, while you're at work, just go walk more. You can do it while you're on the job. Just think about doing extra. And the boss is going to love you, and you're going to do more cardio because you're going to work harder than everybody else. So you probably get a raise.
Well, here's one. He came back and said Florida won't let him take those. Okay, Richard, I'm just gonna tell you right now, if the environment you're in isn't letting you lead your happy lifestyle, change it. That's my advice. And I know Brent, you know why that's my advice? Because Brent gave me that advice. When I lost everything I had and I was being abused by people, Brent looked at me and he said, "You remember this, Brent?" You looked at me and you said, "Hunt, if you don't like it, then you change it."
Yeah, that's right.
Change it.
That's right. Life's too short to be a miserable and to be a slave.
Perfect. Okay, I'm not going to keep talking about breaks and stuff like that. Let's look. We have a couple others. Fontana, what would be good to build up your bones if you have osteo? Ooh, that's a good one. If you have OSTO, now we got to make sure we're compliant.
I'll tell you the best thing to do. I'll tell you what bones are made from. And the biggest thing, though, you got to create a demand on those bones so that they'll suck up this nutrition. Even if you got it in your body, you got to create a demand. And so the calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, vitamin C, vitamin D, those are all things that have to be to build your bones. But it's the demand. So you've got to put stress on those bones. That's why the very best exercise to keep people from shrinking and getting small when they're old is squats. When you put up, weights on your shoulders on a bar, and you have all of that weight sitting up on your skeleton, causing that compression, your bones are screaming, "Hey, I need some help here." Then if you have the building blocks, your body knows what to do with it. So that's why the weights will help you create the stress throughout your whole body on all the bones. That's why we work every muscle group, every bone's equal and opposing forces. Your bicep pulls your arm this way, tricep pulls it this way. To have a total coordination, you got to have it pulled this way as fast as this way. So these need to be equal in strength. Same thing with your chest and back, push, pull. That way keeps your spine in place. If the stresses are equal, pushing and pulling on it from both sides, it stays in place. You get your belly all relaxed and loose and your lower back strong, you're going to have your back being pulled out all the time. Get some balance and equal and opposing forces throughout everything.
Awesome. Now, Fontana, I know Fontana really well, Brent. I'm going to tell you something, Fontana. I was asked to go speak and to help do a demonstration because Brent couldn't make it, to a lady by the name of Betty Rutledge and I can't tell you what kind of event, but she was at an event for people that fall down all the time. And here Betty is. How old was she? 70, or was she in her 80s?
She was in her 70s.
She was in her 70s. She's a black belt in karate. Studied with the same person I studied with, okay, as well as with Brent. And I looked at her. She's in her 70s, and the people all laughed. And I said, "How many people have fallen down in the last week or month?" And they laughed and they said, "How many of us has fallen out today?" I said, "So it's a problem?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "Watch this." I grabbed a hold of Betty and I threw her. She rolled, did a roll, jumped up, came back at me and threw a kick. Okay, and the kick was almost head high and did a ki. And that's a testament to this lady, because she trained and because she did proper nutrition. Actually, we're not talking about our product, so we can go ahead and tell them what she had, Brad.
Oh, yeah. She'd been in a walker for 6 years before I got to her. I'd trained some of her kids, and so they wanted me to train her and her husband. In fact, we got him down to 10% body fat, and he was in his late 70s. But we got her to where she could run.
Tell them what disease she had. It's okay.
Well, I've trained 6 people, usually in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, that had Parkinson's. Got them to where they could run again and get out of bed by themselves and even play golf and play pool. So if your body knows what to do, if you give them the right stuff, the body can do its job and heal itself.
Yeah, and Betty did a great job. It was awful fun watching her. So,
but she was tough. She was a tough lady.
Mm-hmm. And she was exercising. She was doing Brent's program where she was lifting the weights and doing the resistance. And I got to tell you guys, I went to have my jaw to have a tooth pulled because I had an issue with one of my teeth, and they couldn't get my jaw to go numb. They couldn't drill down into it and put medicine in there. Matey knows what that is, where they actually drill into the bone to put a painkiller in there. They couldn't even do that. I had to go to an oral surgeon, and they had to actually knock me out to get it out because my jaw bones were so thick, and the bone was so thick. And they looked at me.
A big sledgehammer, great big.
Because I always getting hit in the face. For 30 years, I've been getting, 30, 40 years, I've been getting hit in the face. Same thing with my knuckles. When the doctors did, when they did the exam, when they did the X-rays and that on my bones, the doctor's looking at me going, "You got bones that are thicker than the football play, than the Tongans coming in." And same thing with my knees and my shins and all that. They're just thick. And I used to kick through, I don't know if Brent ever saw me do it, but I used to kick through baseball bats with my shin. And not baseball bat, baseball bats, plural, not singular. And guys, so where Brent's talking about this and Fontana, where he's talking about putting that stress on the muscles, on the bone. If you don't use it, you lose it, especially your bones. And a doctor that I just had my carpal tunnel done on, you're going to love this, Brent, because the doctors are starting to come around. I said, "What about the arthritis in my hands? It's limiting me." And he says, "The worst thing you can do for your arthritic hands is stop moving."
That's it. Keep moving.
The worst thing. He said, in fact, continue hitting a punching bag.
Yeah. Here's everybody, since he brought this up, I'll give you the simple thing. Everybody that's got pain in your body, how would you like the pain to go away? Here it is. Acid causes pain. What causes acid? Sugar. Sugar causes acid. Acid causes pain. Get the sugar out of your body. One of the big things that'll help, which we have a lot of in our product, is MSM. It helps get the sugar out of your blood. That's if you got enough of that, the sugar mosquitoes don't bite you because they're looking for the sugar.
Perfect. Let's see. Henry Tucker, I'm going to answer your question. Put in the chat if you want me to answer this one publicly or privately, buddy. Just put in the chat. Say yes if you want me to do it publicly. Let me open up the chat real quick. Is Henry still on here? Okay. All right. We were on the other call. This has to do with a product and has to do with nighttime activities with one of the products that we have. FE26 coming out that specifically is geared towards more blood flow for males and females during those nighttime festivities that we all like to enjoy. Guys, so the answer to that is, Henry, that product is not out yet. We're adding some more to it to make it even better than what LP9 does. But I'm going to tell you right now, take 3 scoops of LP9 within, well, you can take it within 3 or 4 hours of going to bed, but take it within, I'd say a couple hours. Just put 3 big, here, I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to take the screen share off because I think I'm screen sharing still. No, I'm not. You guys can actually see me. Let me turn on my camera. So take one of these big old bottles right here, buddy, and pound that down. Put 3 scoops of LP9 in there, and it'll increase your blood flow. And
that's what made a believer out of me. He gave me 3 scoops of that, and I drank it, and I thought, oh, okay, I'm a believer.
Yeah, You know, and here's my disclaimer. You know, if you look at every one of the products in LP9, all of them but one help out with that area. All of them.
And here's something else. If all of you that are going to be following this program, and we get your body fat down into the ideal range for the guys, 7 to 10, women, 12 to 15, your hormones are going to all start working right again. And it's like you're a teenager all over again. And then you add these products to that, and holy mackerel, it'll be a new world.
You know, the other thing, you know, when Brent was talking about it, we're coming up with a list of things specifically for that, because since we started doing, and that's why we come out with a product that just addressed that with EvolvaiR, was because we get a lot of people and a lot of guys asking, and ladies asking about that, okay? So the thing is, I know you don't have a lot of body fat, Henry. Henry's a cowboy. He's in the man looks like he's in great shape. So the thing is, Henry, there's other things. There's, you know, you start out with blood flow. Start out with the thing about LP9 is you start looking at the products in there. The products support cleaning up and making valves work better. Valves aren't your heart isn't the only thing that pumps blood. Valves are. Other things that it helps work, and that's specifically the pinogenol, the pine bark extract that's in there. And I got to tell you that, you know, valves aren't just in your arteries. There's valves in other places, if you know what I'm saying. You've also got plaque. You've got buildup. You've got things that are mechanical that can be issues. You've got things that are in your mind that can be issues. You've got all kinds of things like that. But we are actually coming out with, and I'm going to be posting a list of foods to stay away from. And I'm going to tell you right now, the number one thing to stay away from is sugar. For that specific reason, it does that. And if I look at it and I say, I look at this cup here and I look at this cup here and I go, do I want some of this sugar or do I want some of that sugar? I'm going to tell you what, we've been together 30 years and I like some of that sugar over here a lot better than I do some of this sugar there, if you know what I'm saying. So it's all those choices.
I'll give you another little principle that we'll be talking about later some more. But there's one thing that'll make your blood sugar rise and reduce your circulation throughout your body faster than eating a bag of sugar cookies, and that's stress. Now get the stress out of your life. And people say, well, how can you do that in today's world? It's your way you look at stuff. It's your vision. Okay? We're going to talk more about that in depth, but try to start getting the stress out of your life. We're going to teach you how to do that later.
Henry, you just said something magical. Hey, Brent, he said he doesn't put sugar with his coffee anymore. Shall we talk about coffee?
Well, if you got more than 200 milligrams of caffeine going in you a day, you're going to kick in cortisol. And one of cortisol's major functions is to dump the glycogen from your liver and your muscle into your bloodstream as sugar. So your blood sugar rises, circulation is restricted throughout your body, and blood pressure goes up. So that could be how much caffeine you got pounding in a day.
You guys are starting to understand. I know that I'm talking, we all know this is being recorded and we all know that this is open forum. This is not necessarily a business meeting. This is for people to learn and understand. You guys are beginning to understand why this man is on my close circle of influence. This guy saved my life. I got to tell you that right now. So ask him, ask any question. I'm going to tell you what, you know, we've heard people talk about people being wizards and stuff like that. Brent's my oracle. You know, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to be here and, you know, be able to have these and talk about these kind of topics, you know, to have a guy that is just sitting here and, you know, he's in his beach house and retired at a beach house. Why would he want to be on a call at this time of night on a Tuesday night? it's not because he doesn't have anything to do. This is what he does, and this is what he likes doing. Let's see. Well, I need his help. Perfect. You're at the right place. If you're not comfortable with asking questions here, where it's going to be recorded and shared with other people, then we can go ahead and we can have private conversations. But we're going to be, and this is really good, Henry, because we're going to have, people talk about men's groups and ladies groups. We're actually going to be having a group and we're not going to let things get racy or things get, that type of thing, but we're going to actually have a group. And if you guys like the idea of this, we're going to have a group that just addresses these kind of things, and open forum, no holds barred. I've got people asking about healthy coffee and stuff like this. You are, Henry, you're right in there. You're part of the group. This is every week this week where we may go ahead and start an offshoot group so that we don't make other people feel uncomfortable. Because quite frankly, I'm very comfortable talking about these kind of things. It's just that sometimes I feel like I'm making other folks feel uncomfortable, and I don't ever want to do that.
I will always do it in a comfortable way. I will, because I have done this with hundreds of people and men and women, and so I can do it correctly.
Yeah. So, we've got some great folks on here, we're going to be having other folks come on. There's things with eating that, I get some folks that say they want to put weight on. And some people will say, you look at them and go, or they're worried about their health. Well, a lot of times your alcohol, your stimulants, your cigarettes, your alcohol, your coffees and those things. And I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but I'm going to tell you guys that a lot of times those things can hinder what you're doing. You get those type of stimulants in your body. Brent, if I'm trying to put weight on and I'm trying to put muscle on my body, let's talk about cigarettes, alcohol, and
those things all speed up your metabolism. And you guys get the ones who want to put the muscle on and stuff have got high metabolism anyway. So don't be putting stuff in it's cranking it up even more. We got to slow you down so your body can store the muscle instead of using your protein as energy. We got to have enough calories going in to save your protein so your body can build with it. But we've got to create the demand so it can build with it. We can't overdo it on you. That's why you get to do 3 to 4 sets per muscle group once a week. And some of the others, if they want to do a little more, we can talk about that because they can burn more calories up.
Do we have a picture? So we've gone over an hour on this. Do we have a picture? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and end this recording, and then we can stay on and we can keep talking because I want to be able to post this, and I don't want it to be a big, recording. Here we go. Oh, yep. Henry.
I can answer his question on the smoking.
That's perfect. Do you want to answer it while we're recording? Let's go ahead and leave it recording for a minute. Let's talk about smoking.
Okay. And everybody that's smoking, most people would like to quit. All right. Now the biggest thing is your vision. And once you start exercising and doing all the right things and your body starts getting healthy, it doesn't want it as much. And it in fact, it gets it to where it doesn't like it as much. But when you want to start cutting back, that's the kind of the trick is you're getting control. Don't let those things make a slave out of you. Okay. If you have how many a day, and let's say you have one every 3 hours, well, just go every 4 hours for a few days, and then go every 5 hours for a few more days, or a week, even a week. You just stretch it out. And as you get healthier and following the principles that we talk about, especially the vision of what you want with your life, that's the biggest thing. Will change everything. Is you got to create a vision. And you see a vision of a non-smoker. When you look in the mirror, you want to see a non-smoker. But you're starting to discipline and get control over this thing. And it's one of the most addictive drugs known to man, more than most of the drugs out there, except sugar is the worst addictive thing. And so you got to just stretch it out. Like everybody else, we're going to be weaning them off sugar, just like you can be weaning yourself off this tobacco.
Okay, let me answer this next question about the congested heart failure. We have somebody talking about having congested heart failure.
I trained a bunch of
the answer that I have to give you is we can't make any claims on our products, and you have to talk to your doctor about it. Take the tub of LP9 in, let him read the ingredients, and let your doctor tell you if you can take it or not. Okay?
I'll tell you some books to read on that, and I've trained a bunch of people that had that. Did you hear the word had? Okay, and there's books out there. One of the great ones out there, the one book that everybody ought to be reading in America is called The Blood Sugar Solution by Dr. Mark Hyman. Everybody ought to get that book and read it.
All right, let me go ahead and kill the recording.